Welcome to the first ever Knocking It Around. This is a collaboration project between Underdog Soccer Podcast and Chasing a Cup. We've got an awesome lineup here. We've got a panel of guys that just love soccer, and just want to mention David Kerr he's a writer for Chasing a Cup, and he's a scout for Soccer Syndicate. What's going on, David?
Nothing much. Glad to be here.
All right, man. Welcome. Yeah, absolutely. Got Chris Kerr from Underdog Soccer Podcast. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, good to be here too, man. Funny enough, no relation to David.
Even though we're both our last names start.
Yeah.
And then we got Matty Knips from Underdog Soccer Podcast. Matty, why don't you tell us a little bit about the guys we got on the show today?
Of course. So first of all, Caden Clark was not able to make it tonight. He is he in Minneapolis or St. Paul or the Minnesota area? So thoughts and prayers out to him and his family. And also Patrick's out there right now. So we hope both of you guys and your families and everybody in your connection and immediate vicinity is doing well. But so Patrick Weah, 16-year-old, Minnesota United, forward, St. Louis University in the fall. Is that what I see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
St. Louis University in the fall. Quick opening question for you, something real easy. So Patrick Weah, related to Tim Weah, related to George Weah. What's it like having that pedigree in your family, and kind of the bar is set maybe a little higher than someone without family members that aren't like that. So how does that feel?
Good question. It feels good, but like I don't try to pay attention to it. It's like I see them as their own people and they took their own path. For me, I'm looking at myself. It's like, yeah, I have that going. That's a good thing. But like I look at myself like personally, it's like I want to do great because of who I am now, who they are. Like I know they're great players, and George did great things in Europe, and his son Tim is doing really well too. So like I try to create my own path and don't take that as an advantage or anything. So, yeah, good question.
Yeah, and we didn't want to bombard you with too many questions, but I think it would be a disservice to at least, not mention the connection there. So,
yeah,
that's good though. We also got Jonathan Gómez, 16-year-old out of Louisville FC, just recently moved to Louisville FC from FC Dallas. He's one of 3,000 recruits from FC Dallas that are important to the USMNT, because it seems like half of the whole pool comes from FC Dallas, if I'm wrong. Quick question for you, Jonathan. What made you decide to go to Louisville versus staying and signing with FC Dallas?
Great question. Obviously, at Dallas, I'd been there, I think, 3 years, and obviously, as you said, they have a bunch of prospects and their development is great. But I think the opportunity was just better here, and my goals, my short-term and long-term goals, aligned better with what the opportunity here at Louisville City, and they were willing to help me reach my long-term goals as well as short-term goals. And the coaching staff respected my plans and was willing to do anything to get me there.
Awesome. Good. And you have a good relationship with, who's that, John Hackworth there's the coach?
Yes, John Hackworth, yep.
Good.
Yeah, former U17 coach here in Louisville. Awesome coach. And, I think that'll be a good connection to have, and hopefully can help you along. So, Chris, you want to take it away, man? Chris got a little fun game for you, this or that. A couple of questions for you guys, quick fire, see what you all think.
Yeah, just some quick icebreakers. I guess you guys can decide who wants to go first, or we can go back and forth. It really is like literally this or that, just to kind of pick your brains a little bit before we get into the interview stuff. All right, so first one, LeBron or Jordan? I don't know who wants to go first.
Jordan.
LeBron.
That was fast.
Wait, do we have to explain why?
Yeah, if you want to give us a little.
Yeah. Just Jordan, his mindset and his work ethic and his how he holds his team accountable in practice. Just watching that documentary, like I had so much respect for him before that, but now it's like it's on to a different level. It's like he's been doing this for a long time. He's a good player. He cares about his teammates. He pushes them hard. Some people might say he's a bad teammate, but at the end of the day, he wants his teammates to do well. So, and just the numbers he posts up too, like winning championships. He has 6 ranks. Like, he's just the GOAT to me, in my opinion.
There you go. What about you,
For
John?
me, I think it's LeBron. I mean, obviously LeBron is a little more my generation, but I just recently finished watching The Last Dance as well, and obviously I respect Jordan as one of the best of all time. But I think maybe Jordan had some great teammates. Like, I think he had like a super team, like what the Warriors had recently, and I'm not sure that necessarily LeBron has ever had that. I know that he's had great teams, like in Miami, he had Bosh and he had Wade. And right now he has AD. But I think that his mindset is also incredible. And, I mean, he has 3 rings. And I honestly think that he would have won the 4th this year. And who knows if he could have kept going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. The rest of them are more soccer related. All right. So I guess we'll go back to you, Pat. Dempsey or Donovan?
Clint Dempsey. Yeah,
Landon Donovan. Oh, my bad.
yeah, go ahead. No, yeah, Clint Dempsey. I'll go Clint Dempsey.
All right. You guys want to give us a little insight, or you want to just move on to the next one?
Move to the next one.
All right. Yeah.
I'll give a little insight.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
For me, I mean, I've watched both of them play, but I know Landon Donovan. I met him a couple times. So once he was in Dallas at a coaching clinic, and I got to meet him there. Got a picture. That was a few years ago, and then most recently, he was one of the coaches at a camp in California for the U16s, and we got a whole like little presentation from him, and we got to ask questions and all that. So
Nice.
That's cool.
All right. Next one. Ronaldo or Messi?
Ronaldo.
Okay.
for me, it's Messi.
Yeah, I like that you guys are disagreeing here. Why don't you guys give us a little bit of input on these?
Ronaldo, you can put that man on every team, and they're still gonna win something. Like, you can put him on like QPR, and they're still gonna win like the Premier League. But Messi, I respect Messi. I think he's a really good player. He's really gifted, and his soccer IQ, his like dribbling, his sense of the game. Messi, but like he's put into a system, like he's really a system that Barcelona plays in, that makes him better. That like he's already good, but the system he's playing with Barcelona was meant for him. So like that's what he doesn't do as well on Argentina than like Barca. So Ronaldo is like he's done it. He's been showing you guys that he has done it so many times at Manchester United, at Juventus, and Real Madrid. Yeah, so that's what makes him the GOAT. It's like it's better to Messi, in my opinion, overall.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Messi's the GOAT. And obviously, I respect Ronaldo as well. Everything that Patrick just said. Ronaldo's obviously, that's what a lot of people disagree that Messi's the best, because he's only done it at Barca, whereas Ronaldo's done it 3 places. But I think that if Messi were to go somewhere else, he would be able to win championships somewhere else and trophies. But I also think that Messi, like Patrick said, can assist. He can dribble as well as score, whereas Ronaldo, I think he's just more of a goal scorer, and he doesn't have as many assists as Messi. It doesn't look to – like Messi can play the 10, he can play the winger, whereas Ronaldo is just more of like a finisher. And, of course, he's a lethal finisher, but I think that gives Messi the edge.
I think they both should come to Newcastle and get a title together next season with that Saudi money.
Go Newcastle.
Yeah. All right, last one. So you scored a goal, or you have an opportunity to score a goal. Would you rather score a diving header or a goal on the volley?
Diving header. Yeah.
For me, it's a volley.
Nice.
Nah, like I said, header, cause when I was playing club from Maplebrook, it's like the FC Dallas Premier team. We were playing in the Dallas Cup Championship game, and I scored a header goal in that game, and it felt so good. So like, it brings back memories and stuff. Yeah.
You already have a memory close to your heart. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
For me, honestly, it's something similar like that. I know, like, my goal versus the Netherlands, it wasn't necessarily a volley, but that reminds me of something that I would hit from, like, my position. Like, it's coming, bouncing, like, it just comes off the foot so sweet, and then it goes, like, side netting or top corner.
Yeah,
That's
nice goal. I saw that goal too. Nice goal, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's-
Earlier today, yeah.
I'm glad I have my headphones on. My wife is Dutch. Well, guys, man, yeah, thanks for answering that. And David, you want to share a little bit about the 2003s? We got two of the most special ones in the group, but this is just a loaded age group, and you want to set it up a little bit and share with those that are listening. A lot of U.S. fans, they might know a name or two, but they don't know about this upcoming group. So let them know.
Yeah, so over the past years, obviously, the U.S. men's national team has had its struggles, and people have been wondering where the next wave of talent's going to come. And the youth national teams have been getting better and better and better over the past couple of years. The peak of that is with the 2003 age group. This is the first one that I think could really win the U7 or the U20 World Cup without really much teams getting in their way. They've remained undefeated throughout their entire 10 years in national team age group. They have not just one good kid in every single position. They have like 3 or 4. They're strong everywhere. The only weak spot for them is goalie. And even then, when they're U20 group, they have a bunch of 2004 goalies who are just as good. This is when USA fans want to look for who's going to carry the national team into the future. This is the group. There's a lot of potential, a lot of promise, and they should be excited.
You guys excited?
For us, yes.
Cool. Well, Matty and Chris, we're going to ask Patrick a couple questions, and then you, Jonathan, and then we're going to ask both of you guys a couple questions after that. So,
All right, sounds
Matty
good.
and Chris, you want to take away, ask Patrick some questions?
Yeah. Chris, I'll start off, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so Patrick, break down for us a few of the 2003 age group strikers in the pool. What do you think about some of the guys you're competing against? So other players that play your same position in your same age group.
From me, I only know 2 of them. Matthew from Shattuck, Matthew Rue, and Ricardo Pepe. Like, I didn't know who he was until I started watching videos. Like, watching his video, I think he's a good player. He has the height. His hold-up play is really good too. His understanding of the game is good. He's a good finisher. And Matthew is a good finisher as well, but I haven't seen them play too much to, like, say something on them or go in depth about how they play. But he's not a striker, but, like, he plays for Chicago Fire. He's a winger. Alex Manis, that kid, like, whenever we play Chicago, he just kill us. Like, Alex Manis is one of those kids I see on that team that's really good. They have, like, Casas and Guti, too, that you guys mentioned in, like, the 04's pool. And Casas is the 03, I think. But Javier and, Casas, Javier is the 03. But like I said, I haven't seen much on those guys to like say anything in depth about them. So, but Ricardo Pepe and Matthew Rue, I've seen them play up level.
What's just a quick follow-up before you ask a question, Chris, but what's the weakest part of your game? Like the one thing that you need to work on, you would think?
I would say my movement off the ball, recognizing space and moving into it. And, like, I think that's one big thing I can work on. And then that will take me to the next level, just movement, constant movement off the ball. And not just doing stuff when you have the ball, but, like, what you do when you don't have the ball.
Right.
Nice. So, Pat, why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the best defenders and goalkeepers that you've ever gone up against?
That kid from Sporting KC is really good too. He's not as big, but he's good. The 04 goalkeeper from Chicago Fire, cause we played him like 7 times this year. He's good. He's the one that just signed, I think. He didn't just sign, but he signed with Chicago Fire. I don't know his name, but
Yeah, Chris Brady.
he's really good. Defenders, we play LA Galaxy. Their rep back, their 03 rep back. He's really good. I was going against him. He's fast. He reached the play really well. He's a good player. And the Chicago Fire center back too. The tall kid, there's a tall kid with a long hair. He's really good too. And Seattle Sounders have one kid named Eric Kasner. He's good. Those are the only players I can think of right now. So yeah.
Awesome.
They're all really good players in the NBA, so
Yeah.
would have to agree.
All right. Next question, right?
Yep.
Patrick, still on you. Who's the most important person in your soccer development and why?
The most important person. Good question. I would say my trainer. His name is Daniel Vagar. He's from Costa Rica. Like, we work right now. If you guys didn't know this, I've taken a break from like training because I have COVID-19.
Gosh.
And before then we just working on like drills, like physical drills, like agility, speed, power. That's where I got those from. I mean, God blessed me with those like abilities, but He's improving them. His technical stuff like scanning the field, being aware, like checking your shoulder. We practice all that. Finishing, we practice that. And I can also say my club coach, Joseph Dabarki, like, he made me understand the game of soccer in a different way. Like, instead of kicking the ball and chasing and like just being the fast person and go and get it, he also taught his kids how to play soccer, like possession based, understanding space, knowing what you're gonna do with the ball, like 4 steps ahead, and all that stuff. So I'm really grateful to have those people in my life to show me the way of playing in a different way and like innovative way of playing soccer, and take me to the next level. I appreciate those people.
Hey, great answer. All right, last one. So I couldn't even imagine being a teenager and having the opportunity to play professionally. So why don't you describe that to us? What's it like being a teenager to make it to the professional level or making the transition to the professional level at that age?
For like, it's the intensity and how serious the environment, the professional environment is. Like, playing with the first team and playing with my team is like a big level. Like, these dudes take it, like, obviously it's their job and their families are depending on them to feed them. So like, they're gonna go in there and give their 100% every day. So like, in practice, it's like the intensity is at a way different level. It's like, it's intensity. People are better. They're as fast as you, if not faster, stronger. And how you separate yourself from those guys is just being smarter than them. But like I said, intensity is one big difference I noticed going to the first team.
Very cool. Thanks, Patrick. Yeah. Jonathan, you're up. You're in the hot seat.
Okay.
So yeah, welcome to Louisville. Tell us about some of the most lethal attacking players. Like, what made them dangerous, and who are some of the youth national team players that are giving you trouble?
Well, at Dallas, I played with Ricardo Pepi and Dante Sealy. So, and honestly, if it weren't for me playing with them every day, I probably would say they are probably the 2 two most attacking or two of the most lethal attacking players I've played against. But training with them constantly, I think that you kind of obviously you learn their moves and stuff. And even with that, I mean, we know each other very well. So he would defend me. He knew where I was going, and if he was running at me, I knew what he was gonna do. But I still think they're both two of the most lethal attacking players in this age group. But if I had to say, I think Kevin Paredes from DC United, great player. Most recently just signed homegrown. I think he's very lethal. He plays right wing but is left footed, so he loves to cut in, and he's very good at pressuring. I know that we played against him in a preseason match, and we went up against each other, and obviously we know each other relatively well, so that was fun. Tyler Freeman, I know he's been with the 17 age group, didn't go to the World Cup, but he was with them a couple camps. Tyler Freeman is another one that I would say pretty lethal. But yeah, I think those, just to name a few.
Very cool. Thanks. Go ahead, David.
All right, so name some of the best attackers. So who would you say are the best defenders in your age group, the 03s?
I think how Patrick said, Mauricio Cuevas, right back for LA Galaxy, signed to their USL team. Casey Walls. And Patrick also mentioned Eric Kinsner. They're both left center backs. And Dante Huckabee, as well as Justin Che, who has been my teammate for quite a while.
Yeah, all those kids are excellent players.
Yeah, it's a good group, man. It's exciting. So yeah, tell us, like, what are some things that coaches are teaching you on the mentality side of things? Like, how are they mentally preparing you as a young man to become a professional, to really push yourself to the next level?
Yeah, great question. From the mental aspect of the game, coaches teach young players a few things, especially about mentality, because our mentality is a very important thing. I mean, a big thing is that not just because now you're in a pro environment and now you are a professional, you've made it. You got to keep working and be humble about it. And especially when you're playing with more experienced players, you got to know how to take the feedback and the criticism from them, because in a practice they might yell at you, and you have to know how to take that without taking it personally, and just know that they're just trying to help you and to get better. Another thing that I would say that they're trying to teach us is our mentality in a game. You have to stay strong mentally during a game, especially when it comes to the final minutes, whether it be that you're down a goal or that you're tired, but you have to make that 90th minute sprint. You have to stay strong mentally and know that you have to sacrifice for the team, or maybe you're down 1-0, like I said, and coach makes a tactical sub. You can't be mad that he took you out. He might put in an attacker for a defender because you need to win the game, and you can't take that personally.
Great answer.
Yeah, those are all great. All right, so going from there, working with your coaches and then the players, what are some of the top positioning reads and rotations that those coaches are working you with, trying to build up that left back skill?
So can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so what are the type of positioning reads, decision making, things like that the coaches have been working on you with the last couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, position specific to outside backs, I know obviously in the attacking side, we work a lot on our crossing. You need to know where to play the ball, whether it be on the ground, in the air. And some people say it's the run that determines the cross, and some people say it's the cross that determines the run. So, and personally, I think it's the run that determines the cross. As the outside back, you need to look where they're going, like the attacker, the 9, the winger. You need to look where they're going and put it there, not just put it in the mixer and see who gets there, And on the defensive side of things, I think a huge thing, especially now that recently I've been working on, is my is my body shape. When the ball's on the opposite side of the field, on the right side of the field, know where you need to be in line with the center back, so you don't keep anyone on side, and know that they can hit a switch any minute, and how to turn in one step and sprint. I think that's really important. And obviously, 1v1 defending, 1v1 attacking, things like that.
That's great, guys. Yeah, thanks for diving into those questions. We've got a couple more for you, but David and Chris, the Kerrs, unrelated, are going to run with some rapid fire. So they're going to ask you some questions, and first name that pops in your head, just say it. So they're going to fire them off one by one, and the first couple names that come to your head, just speak them.
Yep.
Got it.
All right. So first one, who's been the most fun teammate to play with on the pitch?
From the
Youth
national team,
yeah, national team.
I would have to say it's between Kevin Paredes and probably Mauricio Cuevas.
I'll say my brother, Clarence, because I played with him doing club, and can't think of one. This kid named Kevin Miles, he's in Portugal right now, playing with Lisbon. He's really good. It's quick feet.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. So, who has the best first touch out of all the 2003s?
Can you say yourself?
You absolutely can.
Definitely can.
I haven't seen a lot of people play, so just being biased, I say me. To all due respect to everyone. Yeah.
I do have a pretty good first touch, but I'd have to say between Elton Chifamba and Javier Casas.
Yeah, those are good ones.
All right, sticking with your age group, who would you guys say are some of the leaders in the 2003 locker room?
You go ahead.
Nah, you go. You gonna know more than I will. So.
Personally, I think defenders tend to be more of leaders, as well as maybe the sixth position, because you see more from back to front, as well as goalkeepers. So I would consider myself one of the leaders in that age group, as well as Dante Huckabee. And I know Dante Seeley wore the captain's armband for a couple games at the friendlies. So I know he's a good leader, as well as Moses Nyman. He's very disciplined, a great leader. And I would even throw in Mauricio Cuevas and Casey Wallace.
All right.
Yeah.
If you guys could have a mentor in the US MNT pool, who would you choose?
A player, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, we'll say a player.
In the men national team pool.
Yep.
It would be me. For me, it would be Christian Pulisic, cause he's young, like he's been to the everything. He's playing at the highest level as possible with Chelsea, so I feel like he would be motivational and know a lot about the process, and I'll be able to relate to him because he's closer to my age than most of the guys on there. So.
All right.
For me, definitely Serginho Dest. He's not really that much older than me at all, but I watch him a lot. I watch his highlights. I model my game after his, and I know that he's been to a U17 World Cup, U20 World Cup. And having John Hackworth here, I've actually asked him a lot about him because he had him at that World Cup in that cycle. And I know that he broke through at Ajax, had a great season, and now he might be on the verge of a big move, as well as made his debut with the U.S. men's national team. So I would definitely love to talk to him.
Are you in contact with him?
I am not currently.
We got to open this world up.
I was going to say, we got to hook that up.
Yeah, man. Both of those.
Yeah. I was thinking you were going to say that before you were about it. I was like,
Yeah.
All right, we'll continue on. So who's the one player in your age group in the 03s that no one is talking about, but they should be?
This kid named Ty Walker. He's at the Red Bull right now. His distribution at the back is really good. He has the height. He has the pace. And I think in a few years he's going to really pop out, and everybody going to know who he is. He has the potential. You can see it in him. There are more kids. Like they're right now. They're like you guys. I see some of you guys say on like Twitter. Right now, these kids are like they're not. Some of them are not like fully developed yet, like physically. As soon as they get out that, they're gonna like kid named Perry on my team. He's like a small kid, left back kid, but he's like really good. Like he's technical, speedy. But if he gets stronger and grow a little bit, he's gonna be dangerous too. So yeah, Perry. His name is Perry Blay, and the other guy I talk about is Todd Walker.
For me, I'd say 2 players that I used to play with and 2 players that are reigning USSDA, or I guess to say the last USDA champions from Solar.
All right.
Midfielder named John Paul Jordan. He's really technical and he tackles really hard. He's more like an 8, could play a 6, not really much of a 10, but he gets stuck in and he keeps the ball well. And then a forward named Connor Lisenby. I've known him since I was very young. He can play winger or a 9, and he's tall. Not really strong. He's more like tall and like I guess lanky, you could say, but he can run and he distributes well.
One more, like I know you guys talk about Bad June, but he doesn't get Bad June Darbo, but he doesn't get enough credit. I think that kid is like the best kid at that age I've seen play soccer ever. He's 13 years old, playing 3 years old, and he's one of the best players on our team. Like I feel like he's one of the best players in the Midwest in our like on our table. He's really technical. He be doing some crazy stuff in some games like I've never seen before. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like the way he plays, he has fun with the ball. In practice, he be doing some crazy stuff in practice too. But I think he's gonna get stronger. He hasn't hit puberty yet, but as soon as he hit puberty, he's gonna be a menace.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna pause the video right now and get Googling after all those names y'all just dropped.
Yeah, Darbo blows my mind when I watch Minnesota 17 group. Absolute. That kid's going to be special. All right, so next one up. So say Patrick is playing and he gets chopped down the box and they call a penalty. Who in the 2003 group's taking the penalty?
Me? Yeah, I'm the PK taker. So I only missed one this whole year and was against Sporting. And yeah, so
there we go.
I also create a lot of penalties too. So
you want to get paid if you get chopped.
Yeah, for me, I know that sometimes the rule is that if you get fouled, you get first look. And I know obviously we're just putting Patrick as an example, but I mean I wouldn't mind Patrick taking it, or I know Dante Sealy would definitely want to take that one. He's serious about his PKs, and probably Ricardo Pepe as well.
All right.
All right, next one. So which young American would you guys call first if you were to get your first call up to the senior national team? Who would you tell first?
A family member or a
player?
young American?
Which player? Yeah, which player?
Timothy. I mean, yeah, I'll call Tim and tell him, and he would be proud of me.
Awesome.
I'll call. If I have Pulisic's number, I'll call him. Yeah, I'll call him. So.
For me, it'd definitely be Kevin, but I have a pretty tight friendship with him, so I think it'd be Kevin.
All right. There we go. So next up, so you guys kind of answered this question indirectly. But for each of you, who are the 3 best players that you guys played in the NBA?
Play against 3 best players we played.
Yep.
Great question. We play. So we like Alex Manis is one of them. Cause we play Chicago Fire a lot, and they just destroy us. Javier and Casas, they're those 3 players, in my opinion. No, I take it back. Alex Manis on Chicago Fire, and this kid from what's it called? He committed to UCLA. He has something. I can't think of. It's a team in California. I can't think of it right now. Yeah, come back to me. I don't know.
For me, it would be when we played the 2018 December Showcase. We played DC United. That team had Brian Ko, Moses Nyman, Kevin Paredes, and we also played Philadelphia Union, and that had Patrick Bowie, that Dante Huckabee, Julian Anderson. I don't know if you guys know him, and Danny Flores. So that was a pretty stacked team. So I think those are just to name a few. But yeah, that showcase was definitely a competition for us.
Yeah, there's the kid I was talking about. He's from San Jose Earthquakes. He has some color in his hair or something, some blonde. He committed to UCLA.
Oh, Brandon Zelaya.
Yeah, I think that's him. And the red back from LA Galaxy. So it'd be Alex Manes, him, and that red back from LA Galaxy is really good. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for giving Oh, good.
It would be Jonathan if I play against him.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, we want to shake you down for some names. We'll put David back to work doing some research and updating our spreadsheets. But yeah, Matty, you wanna get at it? We want to ask you guys a couple more questions. Not about players and stuff, but just kind of get to know you guys a little bit better and some of your future plans and just what life is like as a teenager and pro athlete.
Yeah. So first question is, how do you balance school and soccer? It's not like you guys aren't playing the same soccer that some of us were 15, 20 years ago. You guys are way more committed and a lot going on. So what are the difficulties between making that balance between school and soccer?
Yeah, the difficult part is leaving school, doing school period and leaving and going play, missing the license and the discussions. That can be really difficult, even when teacher sends you the notes, but it's just different being in class and listening to them speaking, seeing stuff visually, is all that stuff. That can be really hard. Getting assignments done on trip can be really, because when you go on trips, I tend to focus on the games only, and when the games is over, and that's when I try to do homework. But yeah, that's really hard. Just balancing soccer with school is difficult to do.
For me, education is obviously very important, and this past semester was my first semester doing online. Before this semester, I had the same problems that Patrick's having when we went on trips. I mean, I would miss so many days of school, and it was so hard to catch up. And even like you said, getting homework on trips, it's just so hard to try to do homework when you're in a room with all your teammates and they're doing something else. It's hard to just focus and do that, and then it's hard to honestly teach yourself the material when you're supposed to have a teacher to do that. But personally, this past semester, when I did online, I would go to practice, and then we would eat lunch there, and I'd shower. I would come home around 12:30, and then that's when you have to have a lot of discipline and responsibility to not, play video games or take a nap. You got to you got to sit down and do your schoolwork for 4 or 5 hours, and then afterwards you can sleep or whatever. So yeah, that took a lot of discipline, and I know this COVID delay helped me actually with my school because I didn't have any more practice, so I actually ended up finishing my school back in April. So
Nice.
Like for the year or?
yeah, for the year. So I haven't been doing school since April. So yeah, that was good.
Nice.
It's cool. So you guys mentioned a couple guys, Christian Pulisic, Dest. You got guys like Gio Reyna breaking in at big clubs. I mean, if you told me a couple years ago that Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Chelsea was going to have Americans on it and having Americans interested in it, I think you're crazy. But it's happening. Does that give you guys hope? Does that inspire you to think that maybe I can make it on Barcelona, Real Madrid, Bayern? Big clubs like that, Liverpool. How does seeing those guys succeed and go impact your vision for your future?
I'll go. Like, it's really motivating. Like me, my mentality is like, if you can do it, I can do it. So like, Americans coming from here and going up there, like, and representing their country and like doing well there, make me think I can do the same thing as well. So. And I see myself in the future doing that.
Those guys, I think they're opening. I mean, Christian Pulisic, Tyler Adams, Gio Reyna, they've opened the doors in Germany to the younger generation like myself. And there's American guys all over the world. For example, there's a couple guys in South America. You have guys in Mexico, or like my brother in Portugal opening doors there. And now Pulisic is opening it in England. So I think they set the bar high and they established credibility for American players. So now the Europeans are looking more into the American market and seeing that like the Americans can do it. So I think that really helps us and makes me and probably a lot of others think that we can do it or have a higher chance of being the next one.
Yeah, big thanks to those guys.
So what do you think the realistic chances of the United States winning a World Cup in the future is? And I guess focus mostly on 2026 in the United States, not the next one, but 6 years from now. What do you think? I mean, do we have a legit shot?
And you want to go?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So I think that focusing on the 2026 World Cup, I think that we do have a shot at winning it, especially we are the host nation. So first of all, we don't have to worry about qualifying. So that should save us some pressure, I guess you could say, and of not having to qualify. So we're automatically qualified. So that gives our coaching staff, whoever it may be, more time to select the players and for us to get more friendlies in against hopefully some high quality European teams. Instead of having to worry about qualifying, we can be doing that. And since we are the host nation, we are going to have our fans here. So that should also play a factor in. Hopefully it can be like having an extra player behind our back. So we'll see how that goes. But I think we have a shot.
Yeah, I strongly agree with Jonathan. I feel like you talk about the pool, the 03 pool, they're undefeated. A lot of those kids gonna be on that team. And those people like Gio, like Des might be on that. Like they are gonna be on that team. Just look at the pool and players in there. It's like there are a lot of talented players, and I think we can compare them to European players too. So like in the future, I think our generation and the generation above, when they come together, is going to be really special.
That's awesome. Matty and Chris, can you show your jerseys a little bit more? Just stand up a little bit. Yeah.
This old school ugly one. It's
yeah. So I got my AO gear on. We obviously care a lot about the U.S. national team. All of us, doing this, just love doing it. Tell us about the first time that you guys got called into a national team camp. You knew you were going to get a chance, a possibility of of wearing a U.S. jersey. Like, what does that feel like, or what do you think about that when you're thinking about playing for the men's national team and having a shot at that? What is wearing that jersey, putting that jersey on, playing next to Pulisic and Des? What is that inspiring you, or what do you guys think about when you think about that opportunity?
You want to take this one, or you?
Nah, Jonathan, you can go. Yeah.
So to answer the first question, the first time I was invited to participate in a national team camp was back in September 2018. When I found out was August, so a month before, I was in a tournament in Mexico City. Obviously, when I got the news, I was extremely excited, and I felt like all my hard work had not gone unnoticed. And when I got to camp, I think the same thing happens to everybody, but you get nervous, your first session. But then after the first session, I gained some confidence, and I think I did. It was a week-long camp, but I think I did really well. And then my first international tournament was in May of 2019. That was to put on that jersey the first time. I mean, the official jersey. Obviously, I'd worn the practice one in camp. The official jersey, it was a great feeling. And then to go out and win that tournament, that was great as well. So I think on the big stage, like you said, playing next to those players, Des, Pulisic, it's definitely, I think it's attainable, but it's definitely a dream to be able to play next to them and be an honor to play with them on the same pitch.
Yeah, good question. Me, I haven't getting called up to the camp yet. I think I was going to this year. We had conversations and stuff. I only been in the DA scene for 7 months. This is my first year. So it's getting exposure to this national team camps has been way easier than club. So they're seeing me mostly every day. So not every game we play that is big, GA Cup or big games, like when we play Chicago Fire or Toronto, they're watching. And I felt like I did really well in those games. And I think my opportunity is going to come. And I'm not worried about that. And I'm looking forward to it to come. So,
absolutely.
And that kind of leads us into our next question. And Patrick, maybe you can start us off on this one. But I'm sure you guys have gotten interest by now from European teams and big clubs around basically the world. But without giving us too many details, what are some of the actual games that you guys played in that kind of, I think, opened up people's eyes to who you are as a player?
One game I played, it was against Toronto. I think they were previously the national champ. That group of players, their old folks won the U15 won it last year, right? We were playing against Toronto. It's a really good game. I scored a hat trick in that game, and from that game, it's playing Chicago Fire too, and scoring against them, and doing really well against those teams make my coaches see me. First thing, my coaches too. There are scouts from Europe too. The showcase we went to, the big showcase, I got emails from coaches from Europe. The showcase in Florida, that was a really good showcase. A lot of good teams we play against. There are a lot of scouts there too from Europe and agents too.
Bradenton? In Bradenton?
Yeah, in Florida. I think it was in Florida. Yeah.
That's where I live. Yeah. I've been to those a couple of years. I didn't go last year. I went a couple of years ago. But yeah, the Nike friendlies and all those.
Yeah, and I had a really good game against New England Revolution, and yeah, that's what opened doors up, and a lot of coaches and scouts from Europe and agents contacted me. So
for me, I think it's been 2 occasions that I think I know of. Generation Adidas last year when I played with the O2s. Although we made it to the quarterfinals and we lost, unfortunately. I think there was quite a few agents there and scouts. And then this most recent December showcase, I know that there's scouts all the time. Like in the 2018 showcase, I'm sure there was people watching just as well as the Nike friendlies. But I think this past 2019 December showcase, there was people watching, and as you guys probably know, I was in Germany in February, so I think that was where I was seen.
What's Jonathan, for you? What's a misconception about the youth national team program, that process, and then Patrick, for you, what's a misconception about training with an MLS club that maybe some young players may not know about, or maybe some fans want to learn about? You guys want to share a little bit about your experience in that?
You got this one? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My experience with the first team is for me, I feel like some kids on the academy team you can train with the first team. Technically, they're good enough, but physically, if they can just work harder physically and get developed and get stronger, they will be fine in that environment. That's my opinion on that. Yeah. But it's not too crazy. People make it seem like if I can do it, you can do it. So just gotta work out physically and just improve some of your part of your games and your technical stuff. But overall, it's not that difficult. It's not very difficult as people make it seem like.
For me, about the national team, a misconception that I think is that just because you're not there, I think that not always. This isn't a knock on anybody or anything, but I don't know if there's always the best players at camp. So if you're there, it doesn't necessarily signify that, oh, you're going to make your U.S. men's national team debut. You obviously, there's hundreds of players that played in the youth national team that were never able to make a senior team debut. So if you're there, you know that it means something to you, but you know that you have to keep working to make the ultimate goal. And then if you're not there, that doesn't mean that you're never going to make your senior national team debut. Sometimes they're just not scouting in your area, or you're not playing on an MLS team, on an MLS academy. You might be playing on another non-MLS team, and they're not scouting, but you might get your opportunity in the future. So I think that's very important.
Cool.
How do you guys deal with failure? You're young guys, so maybe you haven't had much of it yet, but there's going to be a moment where you don't make the cut, or they don't offer you the deal you want, or you didn't get the call up, or you're not starting, something like that. But how do you kind of deal with those minor faults, I guess you could say, and then I guess just tell us a little bit about how you would deal with any sort of failures like that.
For me, I'm really spiritual, and everything happens for a reason. And I'm always believing that whatever happens is God's plan. So for example, if I don't sign a contract professionally right now, in my head I'm thinking it's God's plan. God has a better plan for me in the future, or I just think of it that way. It's spiritually and faith.
I agree with Patrick there, and I also, something my mom has always told me is that everything happens for a reason. So just because you might not get that contract from that team, then maybe you weren't meant to play for that team. You weren't going to get the opportunity, and the opportunity will come. And when someone tells me no, or that I can't do something, I kind of take it with a grain of salt, and you think I can't do this, so I'm going to show you that I can. Basically, prove them wrong.
Yeah, sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Jonathan on that one too.
Cool. I got one follow-up question. What does it mean to you guys to be a person of character? Because obviously, there's physical skills, there's capabilities. As an individual, as a person, what does character mean to you guys?
Character means to me being disciplined outside of the field, respectful to your teammates, making your teammate love you, coaches having respect for you, and if you call a coach number, it'd be yeah, you want that kid on your team. He check every boxes, behavior wise, soccer wise, and everything else. So everything's a good thing. It'll take you a long way.
Yeah, I agree with Patrick on that one. Character is super important for anybody, but especially a soccer player. You can have you can have the talent, but if you don't have the character, if you're not a team player, if you're not respectful to your teammates, the coach might not want you. The coach might put a player to play that's not as talented as you, but has a better attitude and gets along with the players better. So you for sure have to get along with your teammates. You have to know how to talk to them. It has to be obviously like a brotherhood. And I mean, you have to be respectful, like Patrick said, to your coaches, to anybody. I mean, obviously at this age, I mean, when you get into a professional environment, you might encounter someone that doesn't like how you play or that criticizes you, and you can't let that get to your head and retaliate to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to know how to control yourself in those situations as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Matty, you got anything else?
I got nothing, man. This was awesome. You guys are pretty exciting to talk to, and you guys did awesome. It's pretty incredible to talk to young guys like yourself, and you both sound so mature, and you speak very well. Like nothing that I could have handled at age 16. I think the forced maturity of throwing you guys out there in semi-pro and professional soccer really helped you out. But yeah, good dudes. I appreciate it.
Chris, you got anything?
No, just piggyback on what Matty said, man. It's these guys definitely have good heads on their shoulders, along with the talent in their bodies too. It's unbelievable. I wish the best for them, and I'm hoping to see them in the senior team as soon as possible.
David, you got anything?
So it's been great listening to you guys answer all these questions and really just learning about your personal character and what kind of motivates you, the things that you guys see in your lives. And I'm so excited to see you guys rep the USA at the youth national team levels, hopefully bring us our first U20 World Cup win. And then on top of that, just making it all the way to the U.S. men's team. It's forward to win 2026. Let's get it.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having us on.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, Patrick.
I was saying I'm really grateful for having you guys on here with Jonathan too, and just having a conversation about the national team. And thanks for having us on here, like Jonathan said.
Yeah, no, thanks guys for being on here. Jonathan, I got season tickets, so me and my boy will be seeing a lot of you, and we'll hopefully get to see Caden. I don't know when they'll release the schedule. I think he was actually supposed to be down here a couple weeks ago with the Red Bull too.
Yeah.
And Patrick, man, we're cheering for you. We're excited to watch your journey, and both of you guys. Just excited to watch both of you all's story. And Caden, we missed you tonight, but we'll get you on here, and we'll do this again. It was a ton of fun. Thanks for all the knowledge and wisdom you guys shared about the 2003s. I know people are geeking out listening to this, and it was just a lot of fun. Extremely impressed with you guys, and you definitely won a bunch of fans from this show. And I hope you guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you all. Be safe.